Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the show where obvious answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Francis. This is my partner, Gemma. We're from Ruislip in northwest London.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Devon. This is my friend Stephen, and we're from Sheffield.
Couple number three.
I'm Jay. This is my partner, Pallavi, and we're from Leicester.
And finally, couple number four.
Hello, I'm Anne. This is my friend June, and we're from just north of Glasgow.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. A very, very warm welcome to Pointless. It's marvellous to have you all here. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce, Mel's Bells. It's my Pointless friend. It's Mel Gedroyd.
Very well pronounced.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh,
Do you know what?
Heimlich, are you OK?
No, it's fine. Tiny little bit of quinoa.
Oh.
Free the quinoa one. Oh. Anyway, it's fine now. I think we're OK.
You OK?
Anyway, yeah, I think I'll survive.
If you need me to do the Heimlich, just give me the word.
I'll give you the nod.
I think we've got a couple of doctors in the studio, so we can check. we can check with them. It is the Heimlich, isn't it?
I think it is.
I suddenly thought it was called the Heidelberg, but that's a quartet, isn't it?
No, that's exactly right, yes.
You're turning, and I always know that means you want me to stop talking because you're going to talk to the lovely people. You do it every time, and it's love. No, I love it. It's great.
Yeah, that's
it's
so funny.
Sweet
That
and
is
subtle.
the.
That's what you do. Just
That's my
turn
little
the
my
body.
red light.
Yeah, turn the body.
There we are. Turn.
There we go.
And I try and keep my shoulders there, and then at the last minute, whip away. And tell the nice ladies and gentlemen about what happened with the jackpot.
Exactly.
I'm going to do it.
Oh, dear.
All right, there.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm very good.
Now then, Hannah and Michael got through to the final last time, and boy, did they win the jackpot. 3 pointless answers, so they got the bonus as well, which was amazing. Which means today's jackpot starts off back at £1,000. There it is. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Just something to bear in mind as you're playing, it's always going to be the pair with the highest score that leaves at the end of each round. So keep your scores as low as you can, and everything should be great. Best of luck to everybody. Our first category today is food on TV. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? Yeah. And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns Saturday kitchen people.
Oh, love a bit of SK. We're going to show you a board, everybody, with the faces of 16 people who've appeared as chefs or wine experts on BBC's Saturday Kitchen cookery programme. We've added their initials too. Please give us their names.
Thank you very much indeed. So we're going to put these faces up on the board, 16 of them, and they will stay for the whole round. We won't be changing halfway through. Here comes 16 faces. There they are. We have MG, OS, AH, RS, TK, NL, BZ, AO, AH, JT, MB, MT, KH, HM, YO, NH. There we are, Francis. Welcome back. It's show 3 for you and Gemma. Tell us more about yourself, Francis. I feel there are things we haven't explored.
Yes, I've covered a lot of sports, I think, in the previous shows. Well, originally I studied history at university, and for the final dissertation, as a massive Star Wars fan, I decided to write my dissertation about Star Wars.
Well, how interesting. What period of history did you use as your excuse?
So it was contextualised in the sort of aftermath of the Vietnam War.
That's really fascinating. I'd rather love to read that.
Yes, I would like. Was it published?
Wasn't published. No.
You
Maybe
should.
one day.
Yeah,
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
There we are. Now, Francis, the board.
Yeah, there's some faces on there that I recognise. I think I'm going to go with Nadia Hussein.
Nadia Hussein says, Francis, should we see how many of our 100 said that? Nadia Hussein. It is right. Down it goes. 28 for Nadia Hussein. Great start to the round.
Very, very good start. Nadia Hussein, what an absolute legend. She won Bake Off in 2015. Nadia
That's
Hussein...
still in the great era, wasn't it?
It was our penultimate year, 2015.
Yes.
She made the most delicious thing on Bake Off I think I've ever tasted, which had cod in it and satsuma. It was a vol au vent.
Cod and satsuma?
Yeah, it was the most delicious thing I ever ate on Bake Off.
Wow.
A vol au vent.
So, yes, the satsuma.
Put that on a canapé. He's turning the body.
No, I
He's
suddenly
turning
thought
the body.
we'd probably better do this show.
Carry on.
But, I want to talk more. Oh, I'm torn.
I know, body turn.
I don't know which way to go.
But you should go on Strictly with that.
I
That's
really should.
brilliant.
It's a terrific... Thank you. Now then, Devon, welcome. Welcome. Tell us all about yourself.
When I get the time at weekends, I go up to the Peak District and I go hiking, camping, and I go abroad as well, and I go hiking there as well, like 200 miles.
Very
That's
good.
Just nice.
I tell you what, Devon, do you sing at all in a choir?
I don't know.
You're a choir's loss. You should be. Isn't that wonderful, rich bass there?
Bass, baritone, stunning.
It would be something else, that. It's absolutely superb.
It
voice.
really is, yeah, it's lovely.
Love to hear that singing.
Yeah.
Now, Devon,
Yep.
the people, what are you going to go for?
I believe I'm going to go for Rick Stein.
You're going to go for Rick Stein. Shall we see how many of our 100 people said that? Rick Stein. It's right. Wonderful, Rick Stein. Down, that goes to 40. Very good.
Good score, Rick Stein on 40. He's cooked for all sorts of amazing people.
Oh, I should think he has.
He cooked for the late Queen, and he said that he was asked to avoid anything that might be tricky for the Queen to eat in public, like soup or spaghetti.
Or quinoa.
Has it come to rest now? Has it gone down?
Oh, I think it's been and gone.
OK.
No, it's gone. There
Good
we
to know.
are.
Let's keep up to speed with that, though.
Absolutely, we shall.
Throughout the show.
Thank you. There we are. Now, Pallavi, welcome back to Point. It's great to have you with us again. Show 2 for you and Jay. Tell us more about yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Pallavi. I'm a doctor currently working in London, training to be a surgeon. And in my spare time, I quite enjoy playing escape rooms.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Pallavi, on a tangent, I'm sorry, I've got a bunion. I don't want to go for surgery. What can I do?
We'll talk about it later, Mel,
Good.
don't worry.
Yeah, I'd quite like to know the advice on that. Asking for a friend. right foot.
Same,
yeah.
right foot. Oh, we're bunion chums.
Of course we are. But we've known that for years. Thank you. Pallavi, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for MG and say Monica Galetti.
Monica Galetti. Shall we see how many of our 100 said Monica Galetti? Yep, wonderful, Mon. She is up there. 40 is our high score, which you passed. 28 was our low score, which you passed. 7 for Monica Galetti.
Amazing.
Wow.
Well done. She became a judge on MasterChef, the professionals, in 2009, of course.
Thank you very much. There we go. Now then, Anne, welcome back to Pointless for your third
you.
show.
Yes.
Let's hear more about you, Anne.
Well, before I retired, I was a teacher, and when I was much younger, I taught in Lagos and then Muscat in Oman. And one of my jobs in Muscat was to teach English to the Sultan's police band.
Wow. How big was his band?
His band was quite big. It was the version of English that their pronunciation was a wee bit different from most other people's pronunciation after I taught them.
So they all speak beautiful and Scottish?
They do. They
that's just
speak
wonderful.
Scottish. They were going around saying, what's a girl instead of a gal.
Quite right. Absolutely wonderful. Now, Anne, who are you going to go for on our board?
I think I'll go for Yoto Ottolenghi.
OK, Yotto Ottolenghi, says Anne. Shall we see if that's right? Shall we see how many of our 100 people said that?
Oh.
That's not quite right. Scores you 100 points. I'm sorry.
Very bad luck, Anne. We'll give you the answer at the end. So close, just not quite right.
Well, there we are. We're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 7, Pallavi, very well done indeed. And then we go up to 28, where we find Francis and Gemma. Then up to 40, where we find Devon and Steve. And then up to 100, I'm so sorry, Anne and June. You are the high scorers at the moment. So, June, let's have a lovely low score from you, and let's hope we see you in round 2. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? Welcome back to Pointless, June. Lovely to have you here for the last time. Let's hear more about you.
In my spare time, I cycle on my electric cycle, which my husband bought me to try to get me to cycle and to keep up with him.
And it's worked?
Well, I've fallen off it twice.
Oh, no.
And on the second occasion, there was a couple passing by and I had to apologise to them for my expletives.
Oh, no. Well, fair enough. Falling off a bike.
A heavy bike that's like a wild stallion.
June, who are you going to go for on our board?
Nigella Lawson.
Nigella Lawson, says June. OK, no red line for you, I'm afraid, as you are our high scorers. Where do we end up with Nigella Lawson? Nigella Lawson is right. That goes down to 41, taking your total up to 141.
Nigella Lawson has said that she finds it very hard to use chopsticks because she's double-jointed.
Wow. I suppose that's it. Maybe, yes, you need slightly less
What's the opposite?
sophisticated joints.
Single-jointed.
Single joints.
Single-jointed, yeah.
Thank you very much. Now then, Jay, welcome back to Pointless. Great to have you with us again. Tell us more about yourself.
I'm also a doctor. I work in London. Last summer, I learned to scuba dive, which was an amazing experience. And we swam with some turtles, which melted my heart out in front of me.
How nice. You're already planning your next scuba diving holiday.
Absolutely.
Fabulous. Now, Jay, you're on 7. It doesn't matter what you score, you are through to the next round.
Yep.
Who would you like to go for?
I'll play it safe, and I'll go for Mary Berry.
Mary Berry, says Jay. No red line, you're already through. How many of our 100 said Mary Berry? Mary Berry, absolutely right. Down that goes to 65, taking your total up to 72.
Yeah, lots of people knew Mary Berry. She trained at the Cordon Bleu School in Paris, and I have to say, she's ghastly. What a ghastly woman. Dreadful. Swears like a docker.
Doesn't she?
So rude.
Oh.
She's a bad cook. You know, I mean, really. Rude woman. No, I adore her.
She's
The
just
dame.
lovely, isn't she?
The dame.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Steve. Welcome to Pointless. It's great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
I've got 3 kids, and at the weekend I like to go and work on the allotment.
Fabulous. What's been your best yield?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
it did like...
Nothing tastes better than a warm greenhouse tomato.
Oh, yeah. I tried to grow them this year, Steve. They were really bad.
Oh.
I don't know what I was doing wrong. They need loads of sun, right?
Yeah, just a bit,
Yeah.
Don't plant them in the cellar.
No.
Don't do that. Steve, you're already through. Doesn't matter what you score. What are you going to go for? Who are you going to go for?
There's a few I know, but is it Tom Kerridge?
Tom Kerridge, says Steve. No red line. You're already through. How many of our 100 people said Tom Kerridge? Tom Kerridge is absolutely right. Down and down and down it goes. There we are, 24. Very well done. 64 your total.
Nice score, 24, Tom Kerridge. Now, Tom Kerridge is a massive fan of Oasis, and they were his specialist subject on Mastermind. Knows everything about them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed,
No
Mel.
props.
Gemma, welcome back to Pointless for the 3rd time. Tell us more about yourself.
Yeah, so I really like dancing. I've danced quite a lot throughout my life. When I was younger, I did a bit of ballroom and Latin, and before that, I did a bit of jazz and tap as well.
You must be amazing. You've done it all your life. Have you
no.
competed? Will you dance with a number on your back?
No.
No, you don't do that.
In a group with others. It was fun.
Fun, though. Really good fun. Now, Gemma, you're on 28. Doesn't matter what you score. Would you like to talk us through the board?
All the ones I knew have gone. I'm going to go with Matthew Turner. That's probably completely wrong, but...
Matthew Turner. Listen, it fits. Should we see what happens when we say Matthew Turner for fun? No red line, you're through anyway. No, not Matthew Turner. Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 128, but it couldn't matter less. There we are.
Perfect.
OK, shall I have a crack at this?
Go on, Xander, what do you reckon?
OK, Ollie Smith,
Yeah, he's the wine guy. That would have got you 4 points.
the wonderful Angela Hartnett.
She's a genius. That would have got you 3, surprisingly
Look
low.
at that, wow.
BZ, I love him. I love him.
Big Zoo.
Big Zoo. He is so great, such a good cook. Another low score of
Lovely
12.
Andy Oliver.
Yes, very low score of 4 there. AH.
Yeah, I recognise that lovely smile.
This is a pointless answer as well.
Ah, right.
Anna Hall was a judge on MasterChef The Professionals.
Excellent. John Turode.
Of course, 21 for that.
There we go. And that is, I think I want to say something like Matt
Tebbett.
Tebbett, thank you.
He's the presenter, of course, on Saturday Kitchen. Nice little low score there of 5.
Splendid. There's Ken Hom.
Oh, 16. HM. She is the wine expert on Saturday Kitchen, and she is a pointless answer. Helen McGinn.
Helen McGinn.
Helen McGinn.
And that, I feel awful. That is Yotam Ottolenghi. I mean, it's such a small thing, but I feel awful about that.
And annoyingly, that would have got you a very low score of 1. But anyway, we move on. Onwards, onwards.
We move on. Thank you very much indeed. That brings us to the end of our first round. And we do move on, but with heavy hearts, because it is without lovely June and Anne, who've been such fun on the show. Anyway, thank you for coming. We've loved having you on. June and Anne. But for the remaining 3 pairs, now time for round 2. Very well done, everybody. Superb work in round 1 there. You'll notice we're now down to 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 today is alphabetical science. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns X, Y and Z in science.
Oh, good luck with this. On each board, we'll give you 6 clues to terms in science or mathematics. These terms all begin with the letters X, Y or Z. We'll also give you the initial letters of each answer, OK?
Thank you very much indeed. So here is our first board of 6 clues. Here they come. X's, Y's and Z's. A plant adapted to live in dry conditions, from the Greek for dry plant, X. Part of an egg that contains food and nutrients to support the development of the embryo, Y. In astronomy, the point in the sky directly above the observer, Z. Noble gas with the symbol Xe and atomic number 54, which occurs in trace amounts in the Earth's atmosphere, X. A small single-celled fungus, some varieties of which are used to ferment sugars to produce alcohol, Y. And the scientific study of animals, Z. There we are. Gemma.
Yeah, I know a few. Again, trying to work out which one might be the lowest scoring.
That's the tough bit, isn't it?
I think I'm going to go with the second to the bottom one and say yeast.
Yeast, says Gemma. Should we see how many of our 100 said yeast? Yeast is right. 58 for yeast. Not bad.
Spot on, Gemma. Do you know there are 1,500 species of yeast?
I didn't till now.
Isn't that extraordinary?
I am thrilled, though, by that. So many different kinds. But I suppose you have that yeast that you can sort of smell that goes into bread.
Yes,
You'll know that smell very well, of course.
I'm a bit scared of yeast.
Yes.
Because it's alive.
It's alive.
I know.
Yes. And then you get that sort of cloudiness on the skins of fruit. That's a yeast as well.
Is it?
That's what makes wine ferment.
Yeah. Good bit of exchange of facts there.
Exchange. I enjoyed the exchange, Mel.
It's
It's the exchange I liked.
It's all about the exchange.
Yes, the interface. Steve, what are you going to go for here?
I'm going to risk it, I think, and go for the point in the sky directly above the observer. I'm going to say zenith.
Zenith, says Steve. Let's see how many of our 100 said zenith. Zenith is right. 58 is the only score we have at the moment, and you passed that. Oh, down it goes to 21. Very well done indeed, Steve. This is good.
Oh, that's a good score, 21. And the opposite of zenith, a.k.a.
Nadir.
underfoot, nadir. Love that word.
Lovely.
I try to use that word quite a lot.
Lovely. Very nice indeed. Thank you. Now then, Jay, you're the last person to have this board. Would you like to fill in all the blanks?
The second one, the part of the egg that contains the food and nutrients, is the yolk. The scientific study of animals, I think, might be zoology, but the answer that I'm going to go for is the noble gas, and I'm going to say xenon.
Xenon or xenon. Should we see how many of our 100 people said xenon? Although xenon is perfectly acceptable. There we are, 28. Very well done indeed. Great score.
Very good score. Xenon, xenon, xenon.
Yeah.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't correcting. I was just saying...
I know.
But the thing is, you have to sort of say it in the way you say it.
Exactly.
You know?
Xenon.
That's it.
I'd say xenon, but that's just
Oh, you
me.
should.
I know. Now, what about those blanks? What do we think?
Well, look at zoology at the bottom. That's going to be quite a high score, I imagine.
Yeah, that was a big scorer of 80. Plant adapted to live in dry conditions.
No, well, that's the low score. That's probably single digits, I would imagine. No idea.
Zero fight. That scored 3. That would have been brilliant if somebody had come up with that. Part of an egg that contains food and nutrients. Yolk, high scorer at 79.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, let's have a quick look at those scores. We're halfway through the round. 21, Steve. Very well done indeed. Best score of the past. Then we travel up to 28, which is where we find Jay and Pallavi, and then up to 58, where we find Gemma and Francis. So you're a little bit ahead. It doesn't seem to be favouring our third showers, today's Pointless. Maybe that'll change in the next pass, but we'll need a lovely low score from you, a kind of zero fight kind of score, Francis, if you will. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more clues to scientific terms, all of which begin with the letters X, Y or Z on the board. And here they are. High-energy electromagnetic radiation that is used to make images of things inside the body, XR. Village in Sweden that 4 of the elements on the periodic table are named after. Y. A fertilized egg cell before it has started to undergo cell division, Z. Woody tissue in plants that carries liquid from the roots to other parts, X. Sodium and its compounds produce this colour when heated in a Bunsen flame, Y. And in mathematics, the number that represents the absence or lack of quantity or value, Z. There we are. Pallavi, it is your turn and you are on 28. 29 or less gets you into the next round.
I think I'm going to have to go with a fertilised egg cell before it started to undergo cell division and say zygote.
Zygote. There we are. Zygote. Here is your red line. Can we get you below that with zygote? I think we can. Zygote is right. And it gets you through. Look at that. 29 is what you needed. 29 is what you've got. That's superb. Very well done. Takes your total up to 57.
How amazing is that? 29. Exactly right.
Yes. Thank you very much indeed. Devon, you're on 21. We're looking at a score of 36 or less for you to get into the head-to-head.
OK. I'm going to go for sodium being yellow.
Sodium yellow in a Bunsen flame. Shall we find out how many of our 100 said that? You get a red line. There it is. The question is, can we get you below that with yellow? Well, 55. I think you got off pretty lightly there, actually. A colour beginning with Y, taking your total up to 76.
Now, I love this. Potassium burns with a lilac flame, lithium with a crimson red colour, while copper burns with a green flame. Isn't that lovely? But, yes, sodium, as you said correctly, yellow. Very much the yellow.
Right, now, Francis, this is exciting because you have an opportunity here. If you can score 17 or less, there is a place for you in the head-to-head on this, your third show.
So we've got X-rays at the top, then the woody tissue is xylem. Then in mathematics, it would be 0. And then it's try and guess the village in Sweden. There is an element called yttrium, and so the village might be called Yttrius. But I think I've got to go with something I know and go with xylem.
I think xylem's pretty good. I've never heard of xylem. Have you heard of xylem?
Never heard of xylem.
I mean, that's not guaranteeing it's right, but there's your red line. Can we get you below that with xylem? Xylem's right. Come on, xylem. Yes! Look at that. Perfect. 14 for xylem. That was exquisitely gauged.
Wow.
72 your total, and you're in the head-to-head. Brilliant.
Actually, very good call, Francis, because if you'd gone for your village in Sweden answer, it would have been wrong. The actual answer for that village in Sweden is Ytterby. That was a one-pointer. And yes, X-ray, absolutely.
That's
that was
going to be a huge score.
63, biggest score on the board there. In mathematics, of course, 0. That was 61.
Thank you very much indeed, Mel. Well, that brings us to the end of our second round. It means we have to say goodbye to Devon and Steve. I mean, that was a pretty good showing for your first show, which is essentially just a little dry run. The real business of Pointless starts in your next show. That's my theory. Anyway, we'll look forward to seeing you then, Devon and Steve. But for our 2 remaining pairs, now time for the head-to-head. Huge congratulations, Jay and Pallavi, Gemma and Francis. You are now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £1,000. I don't think it's going to stand there for long, because this is where we can throw more money into it by finding more pointless answers. So here goes, just for fun. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many abstract expressionists as they could, Mel.
Yeah, you will see 6 options, my friends. 4 are names of artists who painted in the style known as abstract expressionism, 2 of which are pointless, and 2 are not abstract expressionists at all. £250 in the pot for each pointless answer you find. Good luck.
Thank you very much indeed. So here are 6 possible pointless abstract expressionists. Which are the 2 actual pointless ones? Lee Krasner, Kazuo Shiraga, Michael West, Harold Rosenberg, Amala Dlamini, and Joan Mitchell. There we are. Does anybody know anything?
Do you guys know?
I've heard of Joan Mitchell, but I don't know if...
In the context of art.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
some of them are, you know, they try and trick you, so...
Yeah, I really don't know.
OK, so, well, Jay and Pallavi, what would you like to go for?
I think we'll go for Kazuo Shiraga.
You're going to go for Kazuo Shiraga. Should we find out if Kazuo Shiraga is a pointless abstract expressionist? Kazuo Shiraga is an abstract expressionist. And look at that. How exciting. There we are. Oh, come on, Gemma and Francis. It's your 3rd show. Let's find the other one.
I think Amala
All right.
or Harold.
Let's go with Amala Dlamini.
OK, Amala Dlamini. Should we see if Amala Dlamini is also a pointless abstract expressionist? Oh, no, bad. Well, you can't win them all. Mel.
Amala Dlamini is known as Doja Cat.
Ah.
Yeah, she's a pop star, and her #1 single was Paint the Town Red.
Nice.
Now, what do we think about the others?
Well, Lee Krasner. Surely that's an abstract expressionist.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That would have got you 3 points. She was an American abstract expressionist. Michael West, what do you think?
I think not.
You think not?
I'm going to say not.
That was a pointless.
Oh,
that
what
was
do
a
I know?
pointless. Michael West. She was also known as Corinne Michelle West, based in New York for most of her life. Harold Rosenberg, not a painter but an art critic. And Joan Mitchell, not to be confused with Joni Mitchell, would have got you 2 points.
Thank you very much indeed. Well done. You managed to find 1 pointless answer, which means we can add £250 to the jackpot, taking the total up to £1,250. But who's going to be playing for it? Well, let's find out in the head-to-head. Now, the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. You're now allowed to confer before you give your answers. Best of luck to both pairs. Here is our first question, and it is all about films that got history wrong.
Oh,
Mel.
a lovely round. We're going to show you 5 stills from feature films that are based on true events, but which are all historically inaccurate for one reason or another. We've included the initials of the titles and also their years of release. Please give us the film title the fewest of our 100 new.
Thank you very much indeed, Mel. And here come our stills from these films. We have A, TF, 2018. B, G, 2000. C, BR, 2018. D, TSOM, 1965. And E, MQOS, 2018. There we are. Now, Jay and Pallavi, you are our low scorers. You get to go first.
So I think we're going to go for E, Mary, Queen of Scots.
Mary, Queen of Scots for E, say Jay and Pallavi. Now, Gemma and Francis, can you talk us through that board?
So A is The Favourite, B is Gladiator, C is Bohemian Rhapsody, and D is The Sound of Music. I think we'll go for the A, The Favourite.
The Favourite. So we have Mary, Queen of Scots versus The Favourite. Jay and Pallavi went for Mary, Queen of Scots for E. Should we see how many of our 100 said that? Mary, Queen of Scots is right. And down that goes to 35. Meanwhile, Gemma and Francis have gone for The Favourite for A. Let's see how many of our 100 said The Favourite. The Favourite's right. 35 is what it has to beat, and it does. Very well done indeed. In fact, it goes down to 4. This is a terrific answer. Well done, Gemma and Francis. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, great low scorer there from Francis and Gemma. And also, you took us totally correctly all the way through the board. There was a poisoning in the film of The Favourite. In real life, the character played by Emma Stone did not attempt to poison Rachel Weisz's character. In real life, Mary, Queen of Scots, never would have met Elizabeth, but they do meet in the film. Gladiator, of course, absolutely right. Now, Commodus, played by Joaquin Phoenix, didn't die, as happened in the film. That would have scored you 67. Bohemian Rhapsody, as you rightly said. There are a few inaccuracies, apparently, in the film. Fat Bottom Girls was performed on Queen's first tour of America in 1974, but it wasn't released until 1978, and that would have scored you 39.
They're playing fast and loose with the facts.
Very fast and loose. TSOM, of course, we know well, Xander.
We know well. It's The Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music from 1965. Now, I didn't know this. I wonder if you knew this. In the film, you see the family von Trapp escaping on foot through the Alps.
Yeah.
Apparently it didn't happen.
No.
They got on a train to Italy. Not as dramatic.
Not as dramatic.
Or as visually beautiful.
No.
That was quite a high score at 41.
It is. Well, climb every mountain. There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now, here comes your second question. Jay and Pallavi, you've got to win this one to stay in the game. It's Gemma and Francis who get to answer it first, so good luck. Our second question is all about Seattle.
Yeah, very simple. 5 clues to facts about the US city of Seattle. Please give us the answers to the clues.
Thank you very much indeed. Here come the Seattle facts. And the northwestern US state in which it is located. Rock band formed in Seattle in 1990, whose UK top 40 singles include Jeremy. American football team that defeated the Denver Broncos in 2014 to win their first Super Bowl championship. 2-word name of the 184-metre-tall observation tower built for the 1962 World's Fair. And US sitcom, which began in 1993, set in Seattle and starring Kelsey Grammer as a radio psychiatrist. There we are. Gemma and Francis will go first.
Not entirely sure, but I think we're going to go for the bottom one and Frasier.
Frasier, say Gemma and Francis. Right. Jay and Pallavi, it's over to you. Can you talk us through that
I'll give
board?
this to Jay.
So I think that the state is Washington. The American football team was the Seattle Seahawks. Not too sure about the rock band or the name of the tower.
Let's go for the football
So I think
team.
we'll say for the NFL team, the Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle Seahawks. So we have Frasier and the Seattle Seahawks. In the order they were given, Gemma and Francis went for Frasier. Shall we see how many of our 100 said that? Frasier, absolutely right. That goes down to 36. Meanwhile, Jay and Pallavi are going for the Seattle Seahawks. Shall we see how many of our 100 said that? Seahawks is right. Wins you the question. Very well done indeed. And you are back in the game. After 2 questions, it's 1-1. Brilliant.
Ooh, very good. Great answer for the old Seahawks at 9.
So, yes, Washington.
We knew Washington.
We had
Of course we
that.
did. Jay got that right. That would have scored quite a low 19. The rock band formed in Seattle.
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam,
There we
absolutely
are.
right. That would have got a low 11 points. Now, what about this pesky observation tower? This is the lowest score on the board at 5. The famous Seattle Space Needle.
Space Needle.
Yeah,
Yes, with this orb near the top and the... Yeah,
exactly.
perfect.
Exactly.
Thank you very much indeed. Right, here comes the decider. Whoever wins this third question goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Here it comes. And it is all about Elvis Presley singles.
Yes, we're going to show you the titles of 5 Elvis Presley singles. However, we've changed 1 letter in each word of the title. We'd like you to work out the titles of the singles, please.
I have a feeling this is going to be ribbled.
I think it's going to be very ribbled.
Let's have a look. OK, here are the 5 Elvis singles. And we have Move My Fender, Top Mush, Mailhouse Sock, Harp-Leaded Roman, and Burping Gove. There we are. Jay and Pallavi, you get to go first.
OK, we're going to go for the bottom one, Burning Love.
Burning Love, say Jay and Pallavi. Now, Gemma and Francis, can you talk us through that board?
You do it.
I'll do it. OK, so the top one we got Love Me Tender. Don't know what Top Mush is. Third one is Jailhouse Rock. And then fourth one, I think, is Hard-Headed Woman. So I think we'll go with that, hard-headed woman.
Hard-headed woman. So we have Burning Love and hard-headed woman. Jay and Pallavi have gone for Burning Love. How many of our 100 said that? Burning Love, absolutely right. Down and down and down it goes. There we are, 25. Meanwhile, Gemma and Francis are going for hard-headed woman. Shall we see how many of our 100 said that? Harp-leaded Roman. Hard-headed woman is right. Oh, it's going to be close. This, and a hard-headed woman takes it. Look at that, down it goes to 14. Very well done indeed. And that means Gemma and Francis, after 3 questions, you're through to the final, 2-1.
And of the 3 that you knew, Gemma and Francis, that was absolutely the right one to go for. You were correct when you said Love Me Tender, which was quite a high score at 37. Of course, Jailhouse Rock, that was a big one at 81.
Only just got this.
Have you got it, Top Mush?
Too much.
Too much, absolutely. That was a very low scorer at 7.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now, the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head, Jay and Pallavi. Well, it's a shame you're not going through to the final, but I'm delighted because it means we get to see you again next time, and we'll look forward to that. Always good to have doctors in the house. Thank you so much for playing Jay and Pallavi. For Gemma and Francis, it is now time for the pointless final. Huge congratulations, Gemma and Francis. You have fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have the chance to win the pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £1,250. Well, you haven't been beyond round 2 so far. And here we are, just when it mattered. On your 3rd and final show, we have to send you back with that jackpot. What would you like to see come up?
I really like songs. I seem to remember lyrics, so I'm hoping that there's a lyrics question in there.
That would be good.
I'm happy with that, sport or history or film, something like that. Yeah.
OK, well, let's see what we have. 4 things, as ever, will appear magically on the board. And we have the Royal Ascot Gold Cup, I for International Politics, TV series starring Jason Bateman and Gilbert and Sullivan. What do we think?
Don't know anything about horse racing after I just said I like sport. It would be international politics for me. Yeah, all right.
We'll go for that.
I for international politics, Mel.
Right. Listen up. We're looking for the name of anyone who has been either a UK Foreign Secretary or US Secretary of State at any time from 1st of January 1900, who also has the letter I somewhere in their name. That's the full name by which these people are commonly known, but ignoring, please, any middle names not normally used or any titles that they may have held. This is up to the end of November 2023. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yes.
Lovely. Let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
I'm thinking Secretary of State's probably a lower position, you know, that you would rise up the ranks to president, right? So if we focus maybe on US presidents who would have an I in their name, maybe at one point they've been Secretary of State. So I'm thinking Dwight Eisenhower, Calvin Coolidge.
Woodrow Wilson, is he?
Woodrow Wilson, yeah. Who else have we got? We've got, other ones are there? Franklin D. Roosevelt.
That one might be quite popular there.
UK foreign secretaries just feel like I just don't know the position well enough unless they become Prime Minister, and those are going to be the ones that score points.
So do you think we've got 3 for US secretaries?
I feel like if we can go for those presidents, then maybe. There's also it's difficult because you don't know what other positions they've held.
10 seconds
People like Henry Kissinger, maybe. Should we go with Calvin Coolidge? Let's say Henry Kissinger and Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah,
I think those would be our 3.
OK, you've come up with your 3 answers just as the minute finishes. Let's have them now.
OK, we're going to go for Calvin Coolidge.
Calvin Coolidge.
Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson.
And what was the other one we just said? Henry Kissinger.
And Henry Kissinger. All of these in the 2nd category.
Yes.
Of those, which is your best shot at a pointless answer, do you think?
I think we don't know if any of them were Secretaries of State, but I think Calvin Coolidge is probably the least known.
Calvin Coolidge we'll put last. Least likely to be pointless?
Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson, and then Henry Kissinger goes in the middle. So Woodrow Wilson, Henry Kissinger, Calvin Coolidge. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have Woodrow Wilson, Henry Kissinger, Calvin Coolidge. Well, if one of these turns out to be pointless, you'll be leaving here with £1,250. What would you like to do with that?
Well, we always said when we applied for Pointless that we'd love to go to Disneyland. So that will definitely help us get
Which
there.
of the many Disneylands?
That's a good question. I think Florida, but you were quite keen on which one?
The one in LA,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. But
So-
anything,
We could
you
do
know,
both.
what kind of trip would
We
that
could
be?
do
I
both.
mean,
Well, I don't know.
Go to Paris, guys. It's cheaper.
Cheaper. Yes, more. Then you can treat yourselves more, maybe.
yeah, true.
OK, well, let's hope one of these will win you that trip. Woodrow Wilson, in all three cases, we're looking for US Secretaries of State since 1900. Let us find out if Woodrow Wilson is right and pointless. Oh, no. Not Woodrow Wilson. Let's move swiftly on to Henry Kissinger. Might Henry Kissinger be pointless? Well, he's right. If Henry Kissinger takes us all the way down to zero, you will be leaving here with £1,250. Down we go into the teens, into single figures with Sir Henry Kissinger. Look at that, down to 3. Oh, in my excitement, I've made him Sir Henry Kissinger there. That's what it sounded like. But I'm afraid he's not. He's just Henry Kissinger. Calvin Coolidge is your third and final answer. And let's see if it's right. And if it's right, maybe it'll be pointless. Let's see. Calvin Coolidge. No, that's annoying. Oh, bad luck. Very exciting with Henry Kissinger, down to 3. We were very close there. But I'm afraid you didn't find the all-important pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot. However, you do win today's pointless trophy, so well done for that, Gemma and Francis.
Yeah, Gemma and Francis, bad luck. Do you know there were actually no US presidents on that list? Yeah, although there were quite a few prime ministers who had been UK Foreign Secretary. Let's have a look at some of the pointless answers, starting with UK Foreign Secretary since 1900 with an I in their name. David Miliband, lots of I's there. Harold Macmillan, Malcolm Rifkind and Philip Hammond. Everyone was pointless apart from the following who all scored points. David Cameron, William Hague, Liz Truss, Boris Johnson, Peter Carrington, David Owen, Dominic Raab, Robert Cecil and Robin Cook. Moving on to US Secretaries of State since 1900 with an I in their name. Here are some of the pointless answers. You could have had Alexander Haig, Mike Pompeo, Rex Tillerson or Warren Christopher. The only scoring answers here were Hillary Clinton, Antony Blinken, Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, Henry Kissinger and Madeleine Albright. Everyone else was pointless. And very well done at home if you got a pointless answer. Strong.
Thank you very much indeed, Mel. And thank you, Gemma and Francis. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That will therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £2,250. Join us then, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Mel.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.